Hello guys, good afternoon. This is FTS once again. I am not a financial advisor, neither do I give financial advice. This video is for educational purpose only, and as we know, past profits do not guarantee future result. The forex market is volatile. As you take your trades, apply risk management. All right, today I'm doing a video on yen weakness and the impact of the July 20th election, the upper house election, right? So on the 20th of this month, which is a Sunday, the upper house of uh, Japanese parliament, they are doing election, and it might likely affect the yen, right? Positively or negatively, depending on the outcome of the election, right? So let's dive in and see what we have, right? But we would like to talk about the introduction first and see, right? So, like what I have here, it says big moves are brewing in the forex market. Japanese yen is on shaky ground as political risk and fiscal pressure mounts ahead of the upcoming upper house election. So, in today's quick breakdown, I will show you why the yen is falling, how the elections could make things worse, and what it means for the yen pairs or the G8 currencies and much more, right? So let me take us back to the media so we can easily confirm this, right? Yeah, I'm going to go back to the media. We can easily confirm this. So from here, um, this is poundsterling.com. It says today's 70, but this news is I think it came out day before yesterday. It says so why the yen is nervous, and it says the upcoming upper house election is introducing a political risk premium into the yen. It says the Japanese yen stays under pressure ahead of the Japanese upper house election on 20th of July, right? As political uncertainty, fiscal concern, and global yield dynamics weigh in. I say the yen has traded nervously in recent session with US JPY climbing sharply to 147.6, reflecting a broad rise in the US Treasury yield and fresh concern over Japanese fiscal outlook, right? So that is for the pound sterling, right? Pound sterling news, right? It says that that the yen is under pressure due to the election. Then let's go to Bloomberg. And Bloomberg says yen watchers eye possible slide past 150 as Japan election looms, right? So this is Bloomberg. It says that current strategies are preparing for more weakness in the yen if Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba ruling bloc loses the majority in the upcoming House election, right? So you can see that strategies are already predicting that if he loses the election, it might likely crash the yen, right? So let's see what Investor.com is saying. Said, can Japan upper house election tips the scales for the yen? Now let us see something here. Say, Japan's upper house election late this month could unsettles government bond and currency market, right? Particularly if the Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba's ruling coalition loses the election. Now look at this. Say investors are increasingly pricing in the risk of loser fiscal stance under a weakened government with long dated Japanese government bond already under pressure and the yen edging lower in recent weeks now. Okay, let's see Reuters. Okay. Reuters says Japan ruling coalition seen losing upper house majority polls, right? Now let's see here, right? It says though this is the 15, right? Say Japan ruling coalition will likely lose its majority in the upper house election on 20th. Media polls showed on Tuesday, heightening the risk of political instability at is at the time the country struggled to strike a trade deal with the US, right? So they're trying to tell us the impact of the election that will likely happen on Sunday. Let's see today, Japan, right? Look at it. It says how could Japan's election affect economic policy? Now it says the Japan Liberal Democratic Party ruling coalition may lose its majority of the upper house in an election on Sunday, which could heighten the call for government to boost spending and cut taxes. Right. So here is a guide on how the election outcome could affect. It said so we have looming political uncertainty. Could Japan have a new prime minister? So the writer will tell us then. HSBC says, how will Japan upcoming election impact yen? And so Nomura's explain. So the analyst is trying to explain how the upcoming election will likely affect the yen. So it's also important we should understand how this affected because as a retail trader you might not even understand, or some of us are not even aware that come this weekend, 20th of this month, right? This Sunday there's an upcoming election, and this election might likely affect the forex market, right? So now look at this. What's happening in Japan, right? Like I've already stated already that the Japan's upper house election is set on Sunday, 20th of July 2025, right? So the poll suggests that the Prime Minister's Shigeru Shiba's ruling coalition may lose majority, right? It also says that both the ruling party and the opposition are promising huge spending. That is a cash handout sale, cash handout sales, tax cut, and raise fear in of political of fiscal instability. So this has pushed Japan's bond yield to multi-year highs, and yet the yen is falling. Now, why is the yen falling? You say because this is the bad types of rising yield, right? Rising yields. Right? So market fear, stagflation, and fiscal policy. Now, stagflation is talking about when there's every tendency that there's a rise in the yield, but data are not supporting that the yield is rising. That means the yen is crashing while the Japanese bond yield is rising. So if the Japanese bond was rising and the yen is also rising, that means it might be good for the currency. But bond yield is rising, but the yen is crashing due to the tariffs discussion with the United States and the upcoming election. So this is what that is currently happening now. So as a trader, sometimes you might not really factor all this in, right? I'm the kind of person that how I trade is this: I use technical analysis to determine my entries and my entry position, while I use fundamental analysis to guide my trade bias. So as a result, I don't really go to monthly, daily, weekly time frame to do directional bias of a thing. No, I've stopped it, right? Because I know that fundamental analysis determines market bias, determines market sentiment, determines volatility, determines what controls the market, and determines how institutions trade. Because institutions, they price in the direction of these key macro geopolitical fundamental analysis, data and statistics, right? So with this, if you can analyze the market like this, I tell you most of the time you'll be hitting your trade as win back to back, right? Now look at it, say the yen collapse. Now, why do you think the yen will likely collapse? So the yen is trading at nearly 148.5, right? Yeah, if you go to okay, let's go back to our chart and see. Let's go back to our chart, right? Yeah, let's go back to our chart. So let's check the USJPY, right? Yeah, let me go back to H4. Okay, now so you said the yen is currently trading at 148, right? 148.2, right? And based on the outcome of this election, if the incumbent House leader loses the election, right? The yen might crash to 142, right? Yeah, that means the yen might crash to 142, yeah, and Yet if he loses, the yen might crash to 42. And if he wins, right, the yen might break 150 and above, right? So indirectly, even though you're trading Japanese yen or not, there are currencies that are paired to Japanese yen, and you might see setups as a technical trader, you might see that setup, and your technical analysis might tell you, okay, price is going up, and based on what we have on fundamental analysis, price is definitely coming down. So let me just show us something. If you look at it from the daily time frame, okay, if you look at it from the daily time frame, right? If you look at it from delta frame, you see that is climbing up, right? So the effect of this election will likely be this, right? So if he loses the election, come on 20, which and the polls online polls that have run show that he will likely lose the election. So this is what we'll likely get, right? So and if he wins the election, uh price might likely go up a little bit, but other factors will start playing out. So that is the impact of this. So in order not for the market to take you unawares, right, you should easily factor in this fundamental analysis reasons why how this will likely affect the forex market, right? So speculators have turned net bearish on the yen for the first time in nearly a year, right? So for the first time, right, investors and institutions, they've decided, okay, that they are going bearish because of the outcome of this election. So global reserve managers are dumping yen for Swiss franc, signaling a loss of faith in yen's as safe haven. There are major three safe haven currencies. We have the Swiss franc, we have Japanese yen, then we have the United States dollar. Then for commodities, we have gold, right? Yeah, in terms of uncertainty and geopolitical crisis, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, and but due to these recent happenings, right, investors might likely hop into Swiss franc, you know, for safe haven status, right? So the usual relationship between rising yield and stronger yen as a broker, because right now is due to stagflation, right? The bond yield is high while the yen is low. So this has also triggered fear in the market, right? So let's say the impact of the yen, the part of this election on the yen pairs, right? Yeah, first of all, US dollar, right? So we're expecting a bullish US dollar, a bullish US dollar if the election, uh, uh, if if the the House leader loses the election, right? Yeah, if he loses the election, the yen will grow soft. The yen will grow weak, and the United States dollar will become bearish, and it might pushes it likely put the USD JPY to 150 mark, right? Then for Euro JPY, slightly bullish because Euro look more stable, right? While the yen will likely suffer loss, right? So GBP JPY is going to be due to political uncertainty in Japan, the JPY would likely go bullish, right? So in essence, let me put it this way: every pair that is being paired against Japanese yen would likely get bullish. Right? Let me put it that way, right? Let me just put it that way because as Japanese yen is going down, all of them will be going up, right? Because they are negatively correlated. Okay, yeah, they're negatively correlated. It will likely affect, especially the dollar, right? The dollar, the Aussie and the Kiwi, right? Yeah, they will be bullish because on risk on market sentiment, right? Yeah, because we are not on a period of geopolitical crisis or risk of market sentiment. Since we are risk on, and the Japanese yen being a safe haven currency is having issues due to uncertainty in the economy, right? So we expect Aussie and Kiwi dollar to likely go bullish, right? Their card may be neutral because of card support, oil support card, right? So uncertainty may also make it be somehow bullish. So like I said, we're expecting bullish. All the yen pairs will be bullish, right? That is what we're expecting, right? That is what we're expecting, right? Then what to watch out for, right? As this election is going on, right? So post results. So if they are worsening for the incumbent or the house leader, right? The US dollar will likely break above 150 on that election day. That was Sunday, right? So you might wake up to a gap in USD JPY, right? You might wake up to a gap USD JPY, and this might also, say election date is the 20th. So the result will shaping of, or it will shape the market bias, market sentiment, right? So this is why fundamental analysis is key because you as a technical trader, you don't even know what will shape in the market, right? You just think, okay, because you did top-down analysis from the weekly, monthly, weekly, and daily time frame, or the H for then you go to lot time frame for entry. You don't even know why or what is making the market to change from an uptrend to a downtrend, or from downtrend to an uptrend, or a continuation on a particular market bias, right? But with this understanding of fundamental analysis, I tell you, you can easily know where the price, where market is going. Then you follow using technical analysis, right? So trade talks with the US post election could create further volatility. That is true. Then we should watch out for the JPY pairs, right? Especially US JPY, CHF, and GBP, right? For major moves. Then if you wins, right? If the majority leader of the house, majority the incumbent wins, right? We should expect a short-term rally to 144, but likely temporary. So this is just what we are expecting, right? So on the outcome of that day, on the outcome of Sunday, so from a Monday, you likely see that the market rally take a new direction, or it might continue based on what the outcome of the election might be, right? So the yen is caught. It says that the yen is caught in a perfect storm. That is a political uncertainty, reckless fiscal promises, and fading safe haven demand, right? So whether you are trading the yen directly or watching from the ripple effect on GH currency, this is a situation you cannot afford to ignore. So that is the beauty of fundamental analysis. So if you love this short clip, right, on the outcome of the upcoming yen weakness due to the election, the 20, July 20 election, you can likely subscribe to my channel. You can comment if you have any questions. You can comment. I will likely reply you. Then you can subscribe. You can turn on the notification bell for update in case I upload more videos on fundamental analysis. I still remain FTS, right? So keep up with my channel and stay on, right? All right, thank you. Have a lovely day. Just a minute.